Attorneys, you are not fooling anyone. Your team members show up in Open Coaching and Growing Hour every Thursday in the Law Firm Admin Bootcamp. And the common theme is, what can I do to get my attorney to show up and do their work? Your team, we giggle about this every Thursday, they see you hiding from them. We have one member that said he will literally go around the building so he doesn't have to pass my desk because he knows I'm going to harp on him about not reviewing those trusts and getting them back to us so I can print them out and get clients in for signings and, oh, by the way, get money in the door. So attorneys, we know what you don't like to do. Administrative things, reviewing documents. We're clear on that, right? But it might be part of your job description at this point. So here's the deal, team members, and what I'm teaching team members, listen, if you give me your team members, you know how I'm going to train them. So I train them to, number one, have the courage to go to their attorney and say, listen, I know I'm the biggest pain in your butt right now. You don't want to review these trusts. Let me help you. I tell the team members, you are responsible for your experience. So you can't be frustrated with the attorney. We know this is not their unique ability. We know they're a high quick start on the Colby. We know they're a maximizer on the Gallup Strength Finder. We know how they're hardwired, so help them. Sit down with them, have some fun with it, gamify it. How long is it going to take for them to do the work that they're avoiding? How long is it going to take them to make impact? What is the best time in their day before they get into email, client meetings, what have you? So pick a time, same place, same time, where you literally allow your team member to sit there and babysit them. So if you're a team member, listen to this, and you're complaining that your attorney doesn't reply to your emails, that they avoid you, that they're hiding from you, that they keep moving the appointment on their calendar or the task or the to-do, it's your job to sit down with them and say, I see you. I get you, and I got you. So how can we gamify this? How can we have fun so we can make an impact for the client and we can get revenue in the door? Welcome to another episode of the Office Altering Hire and Empower with Molly McGrath podcast. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. If you're a first-time listener, hopefully you'll become a long-time listener. As always, I'm your show host, Molly McGrath, founder of Hiring and Empowering Solutions and creator of this revolutionary podcast. You can check us out at hiringandempowering.com. So team members, we're talking about when your attorney is hiding from you. And don't worry, I will get to the attorneys next. But here's the deal. Your attorney, and I hear you all saying this all the time, everybody's so busy, everybody's so stressed out, nobody has time, what have you. It is about time chunking. We talk about this consistently, doing the time effectiveness exercise, chunking your activities in order of your job description and impact, putting your 80% in first. So you know what your attorney doesn't want to do, or maybe you have the flip side problem. Maybe your attorney is a high fact finder. They live in constant analysis paralysis. Know your attorney is step number one. Know their Colby, know their strength finder, know their predictive index, know how they're hardwired. Heck, you don't even necessarily need those assessments. You know, are they a high visionary, high voltage, high octane, and all they want to talk about is marketing and sales and ideation and blah, blah, blah. They're a quick start then. Then you know they're going to avoid the paperwork. You know that they're going to avoid you when it comes time to reviewing documents, reviewing a letter. Anything that has to do with paper and process, they're a renegade. They're going to just ditch and hide from you and continue to be last minute Larry or Linda with that one. If they're a high fact finder, they're going to love that, and they are going to turn it into a Vietnam project. They are going to make a mountain out of a molehill, and they're going to spend all day dinkering around with the fonts and the formatting and all that. But when it comes time for marketing, where they have to review blogs, where they have to record a video, where they have to approve the new website, whatever it is, that's what they're avoiding. So that, in a nutshell, is really knowing your attorney, knowing how they're hardwired, and where they're at with that. So know that first and foremost, name it, and then have the courage to raise your hand. I see you. I understand how you're hardwired. So we need to make this work. We have to. I cannot tell you how many team members will tell me, attorneys, that they see that you are constant, what you're ditching from them. And they're amazed because it's client work. They're like, how in the world are they even sleeping at night? Your employees are losing sleep over your law practice. I don't want to hear any more crap about nobody cares as much as I do. Baloney. If you have people in your firm that you think that, send them to me and I will tell you if that's true. Chances are, yesterday I was on an onboarding call with a new client service director that we put in place. And part of our onboarding process, we have a really amazing, approachable coaching conversation where I talk about, what's really not working and what is working, ending on the positive. And the office manager and the attorney were saying, well, she's in the front of the room and she's really not greeting clients. I want her to, be the chief happiness officer there for the clients, and we're not just really seeing the warm and fuzzies. And then when I turned the table and talked to her, she's like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I get yelled at when I spend too much time with the clients, and I've been told by so-and-so when they were running past my desk that my job is not to be a therapist with them. Then I'm on the phone with somebody else and I'm trying to get to the point and not engage with them and not have a conversation with them because I just got yelled at for spending too much time with them. And then the attorney's walking by and he's like, hey, Susie, you really need to answer the phone with a smile. She's like, I don't know which one you people want. And it was really fascinating because they both laughed, the attorney and the office manager. They're like, fair, you're right. Another thing that she said in her meeting is she said, I'm trying to help. I have my job description. I've been here for almost 60, I think it's like 70 days now, and nobody will give me anything. I see everyone stressed out and nobody will give me anything, and I don't feel like a value creator here. I was hired for this job description. I went through this interviewing process. Talk to us about how you multitask. Talk to us about where you step up and lead. Talk to us about all the questions everyone asks in the interviewing. Then they get the person in there and then they treat them like a kindergarten. They don't give them activities that they can support them. And the attorney was just dumping all these marketing projects on her desk. FYI, she was not hired for marketing. But he was super excited to have a new body in the building or what have you. She spent all this time over the weekend. Mind you, this is a brand new employee, again, who isn't living her job description, spent her weekend because she is fighting to be a value creator, fighting to make a difference, and fighting to figure out how she makes impact within that law firm. So she's like, all right, I don't care if it's not in my job description, let me figure it out. She puts time on the calendar for the attorney on Monday, doesn't show up. Like, attorneys, stop hiding from your team members, stop ditching them. They see you. And just because they're not saying anything to you, if they are not saying anything to you, you have a bigger problem. You have not created a culture of honest, well-respectful conversations. You have not created a culture of where everybody's voice matters. You have not created a culture where we are a culture of coachability and we want to hear you. So if your team members aren't coming to you and saying, time out, sit down, give me your cell phone, here's a cup of coffee, here's a sandwich, here's a salad for you. This is gonna take you about an hour tops. Here's 5 documents I need you to review. Here's the sticky tabs of the areas that you need to look at, that you need to pay attention to. And I'm going to sit here with my computer and I'm going to do work, and you are not leaving this room until you get this done. If you don't have team members that are supporting you, you continue to say, I want to be able to delegate more work. I want my team to step up and lead. But if you're not creating a culture where they are coming to you with that, and not waiting for you to give them permission, then you need to back up and create a culture of that. We need people that hold our feet to our dreams, often in spite of ourselves. You say you want legal leaders. You say you want entrepreneurs in an entrepreneur's world. You say that you want people to stop delegating back up to you. You want employees that are confident, that are competent, what have you. If you are not seeing that, then we need to look at ourselves. And where are we creating that? So ask yourself, do I avoid my employees? Do I hide from my employees? And I'm all for, let me just be clear, I'm all for working from home or having your time in the conference room with the whiteboard and the think tank and all that. That's not what I'm saying. Is it a norm that you do this? Or when you see the email pop up or the Slack or whatever that pops up from Joni, when you know damn well that you owe her like 5 things. And every time you see your name, you want to smash your head through the wall because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do what she's asking me to do and she's driving me crazy. Or maybe you are avoiding your team members because they have a line of questions constantly for you. Then that's time to stop and say, okay, my employees are not bad. There's nothing wrong with my employees. It's that we need to all give ourselves the space and grace and time on our calendar, a full day retreat, to back up, get to the whiteboard, figure out where the bottlenecks are, figure out where we have the breakdown within process and production, and allow. Here is the absolute _1 rule. Allow people to speak their truth. Yesterday in that onboarding call, I'm just watching. Here's the attorney, and they were all on Zoom, attorney and office manager in one office, and then the new client service coordinator and what have you. And I'm watching her body language or what have you, and I'm asking the questions and what have you. And I look at her, I'm like, all right, girl, you need to, I know the truth. You're come to open coaching hour. You and I have been coaching. Tell me, can you please tell them the truth? And she's just sitting there. And I'm like, guys, you need to give her permission. And so they did. And once she just shared, no shame, blame, weaponizing, no negative Nancy whatsoever. It was that she wanted more, that they weren't trusting her, that she had the ability to handle the dictation, that she had the ability to what have you. And the second the words spill out of her mouth, and she looks and she sees the attorney and the office manager like laughing and having fun, shaking. They're like, fair, true, true. And it was amazing because her whole energy just lit up. She's leaning into the Zoom room and she's like, and another thing, and then when we create her goals for the next 30 days, everybody was like, wow. They were like, we don't know if she's able, capable, because she's just sitting there with RBF. And just like, you know, I'm not going to say anything because these people don't trust me. So attorneys, ask yourself, who am I avoiding? Who am I hiding out from? Dear God, I hope it's not everyone. And employees, you know where your attorney's hiding out. You know the activities that they're ditching. It is your job to raise your hand, have the courage to raise your hand, have fun with it, gamify it, and tell them, I see you. I see your patterns, I see your vicious cycle, and I am here to set you free, and we're going to create up a little fun structure for this so we can get you out of awareness hell, because you know you're avoiding me, I know you're avoiding me, and it's causing you stress, and it's not helping the client. So what can we do to have fun with this, fast track it, and cut the time in half that we think it's going to be, because we're going to touch it once, and we're going to move it through, and it's never going to be a headache and heartache, and the next time you see me, attorney, you're actually going to smile and possibly bring me a coffee. So, attorneys, give me your team. If they're not in my program, if you want anything that we talked about today, but you don't know how to get it, don't worry, I gotcha. But your job, if you give me your team, is you have to show up. And when they come to you, you can't meet them with resistance. You can't meet them with excuses. You can't meet them with reasons why you're so busy and stressed. If you want the turnaround, you need to embrace the change one small step at a time. And if you're giving me your team and you actually say to them, thank you. That's a great idea. Let's try this. That is just gasoline on the expansion fire, because once they say, you say them, okay, they will take a bullet for you. So let's get into 2024 without frustration, without breakdowns, without stress, without being busy. And let's remove that language from your universe, from your law firm, from your team, from yourself, and let's get your team empowered to support you so you are excited to see them and stop avoiding them. We've reached the end of yet another episode of the Hire and Empower with Molly McGrath podcast, where dream teams of entrepreneurs in an entrepreneur's world really do come true. Listen, whether you're a business owner, employee, executive, or hiring manager, we fully understand hiring, onboarding, and leadership is expensive, exhausting, often overwhelming, and absolutely time-consuming for the already taxed professional. Well, we have your back on all fronts. For 25 years and counting, we have transformed over 4,000 law firm teams into the most efficient, resourceful, and profitable asset of your business. Check out our Smart Hire solution, our employee leadership program, and the 66-day law firm turnaround at hiringandempowering.com.